It's been a minute. We are quite literally in Oliver's corner. So it is 100 million degrees in Melbourne, Australia today, and so I am sitting here right in front of the fan so that I survive. Welcome to my living room. Welcome back to Oliver's Corner. If you are a regular here, you know that we're all about rabbit care and just general bunny content. And if you're brand new, welcome. My name is Cosette and I make videos about rabbits, pretty much focused around my bunny, Oliver. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, make sure to subscribe and let's get into the video. So this week, what we're gonna be doing is a bit of a silly one, but I think a necessary one, especially for those of you who might be currently looking into getting a rabbit and you wanna know an honest take of, is my house gonna get destroyed? Because the honest answer is probably. I think it's very important to know that there's a lot you can do in terms of bunny proofing a place and certainly making sure that your valuable items and your most favorite items are protected from their fangs. But you do have to make sure that if there are particular things that you are super fond of or that are very valuable and that you do not want them to destroy, you have to be 100% onto it with your bunny proofing. If you'd like to know a bit about the bunny proofing that we've done in our apartment, make sure to leave that in the comments below and I can do a separate video on that, because bunny proofing is probably the most important thing when you're adopting a bunny, because it will save you a lot of grief, a lot of money, and quite frankly, probably save your bunny's life. So let me know if you'd like to see that. But in the spirit of full disclosure and complete honesty, I think it's important to know that even when you do a bunch of bunny proofing, no one is perfect. You might leave something on the floor one day and realize that it is dead and gone because little bunny got very curious and it's not his fault, it's frankly yours. So I'm gonna be going through some of the top things that Oliver has destroyed for your viewing pleasure. I know with a lot of puppies this can be a huge issue, and let me tell you, with rabbits it is no different. Shoes. There are particular materials that they just go absolutely nuts for. With Oliver, it's any sort of like mesh style material. So this is sort of one little incident we have here. Thankfully these are pretty old at this point, so they've had a good run, but yes, bit of a sad discovery when you are at the gym and you look down at your shoe and you go, really? And I can tell you that this is a favorite material of his because these sneakers are also just in a very, very sad state. I actually don't wear these a whole lot. These are not actually Christian Dior sneakers. These are knockoffs they got in Bali, and they are a pair of super cheap shoes. So I was not overly devastated. But I mean, he's done a serious number on it. So basically, if you have shoes that you actually do care a lot about and that you do not want them to destroy, I would highly recommend you get some kind of a big, bin or like a laundry hamper, and you put all your favorite shoes in there or on a nice tall shelf in your cupboard. Don't leave them by the door if you're really worried about your bunny destroying them. So that's the first one. Rest in peace. Sneakers. I'm a working girl in the city and I have a backpack that I like to take into work, and slowly but surely this is becoming the most embarrassing thing to carry around because look at this. I mean, why? This poor unsuspecting backpack has done nothing. Literally one of the clips has now been chewed off, and you would think that I would learn from this and stop leaving it around. Thank the Lord it was just from Target and not very expensive, so I can replace it. But again, in the spirit of not having to replace every last thing that you own every few months, it would probably be smart if I took it off the ground, off the couch, stopped leaving it around, because he's actually obsessed. I mean, I've literally put this like in our bedroom on the bed in the hopes that he would just, not be tempted by it, and he has sought it out. He has literally jumped onto the bed and been like, all right, my nemesis, it's time to get destroyed, backpack. And yeah, he's made it a mission of his. So at this point, I think I just need to get a new backpack and let this one die. So next up, also in the realm of shoes, but a different texture, so I feel like they get an honorary mention, is this sad flip-flop, thong, whatever it is you want to call it. As a Canadian living in Australia, still don't know what to call them. But yes, rest in peace this. Apparently this was a particularly pleasing material for his teeth, and rip. So this next item I'm not too fussed about Oliver destroying because frankly they're kind of his to destroy and they're super cheap, and we've got a whole bunch of them that we swap around. As you can see behind me, I've got a nice red fleece blanket there. I've got a few different blankets that we swap out, throw in the wash, shake out. I think it's a really good way of managing the hay mess situation, and super easy to wash. So I would highly encourage you to have something like that in your bunny's enclosure if you want to spare yourself a lot of grief trying to vacuum like every single day, if not more often than that. But yes, his fleece blankets, they've been through it. I mean, this is like the night sky at this point. The amount of light coming through, like twinkling stars in the sky. It's grim, it's very grim. But hey, I mean, I'd rather he do it to this than to our carpets. Alright, so welcome to my nightstand, which doubles as my bookshelf. Don't mind me just reading Dan Brown at the moment, but yeah, so here we've got a side lamp, which is now wrapped in electrical tape, because despite the fact that we did actually bunny-proof the part that we thought was exposed, he pulled the whole thing out from behind this bedstand, and yeah, he had a nice little munch of this lamp, and I mean, quite nearly could have electrocuted himself. Thankfully it was off, and so was the entire outlet, so there was no risk really. I was able to salvage this, but honestly, don't be underestimating what your bunnies are willing to yank out from behind furniture. Whatever you do, just spare yourself some grief, especially with electrical stuff. So last but certainly not least, because I think I was nearly kicked out of the house on this day. My partner was in the middle of playing Xbox and basically felt a bit of a yank on his headset, only to discover that whilst he was literally using them, Oliver had decided to just bite straight through the cable of his gaming headset. So we have since moved on to a combination of wireless headsets for his gaming